welcome to the And One Show with KJ and Joe, presented by On3. Your home for exclusive interviews with some of the most talented hoopers in the world, along with reactions to viral basketball news and moments trending on the web.
Today, we'd like to welcome in Garrison Brooks, former UNC Tar Heel, that will be using his extra year of eligibility from a COVID season to play for Mississippi State as a graduate transfer. Garrison, thanks for joining us, man.
I appreciate you having me on.
No doubt. Now, Garrison, to start us off, most people think of you, as Garrison Brooks, the basketball player, but we want to let the people know, kind of who you are off the court. So my first question is, when you're not hooping, what are your main hobbies?
So pretty much, man, my number one thing to do is watch movies. Like that's something I'll always be able to do, no matter where I'm at. Like my plan for this weekend is to go to the movie theater somehow. So that's pretty much all I love to do, watch movies. I might start a new show every now and then, but movies, kind of just, we hadn't started doing anything like out in public yet like that, but I like bowling with my team. So I think that's pretty cool. And of course, we're gonna go out to eat all the time.
You got a top three favorite movies or a favorite series you follow or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I go top three movies: American Gangster, The Campaign, Anchorman 1. Those would be my top three. Top three TV shows. No order. I got to go to The Office, Power, and Snowfall.
Classic
list.
So, Joe, me and Garrison go way back since his freshman year at Carolina. As you see, I'm wearing my Carolina shirt. We're like a family. Garrison has always been a very deep thinker and has been collecting art pieces in the form of tattoos. And I still remember it like yesterday when Garrison got his first tattoo on his stomach. G, would you mind telling everybody a few of your favorite tattoos and what inspired them?
My favorite tattoo was my first tattoo on my back, the Muhammad Ali. We won his first heavyweight championship in 1964 in Miami. The iconic picture when he knocked him out in the first round. And it was, people look at it as Muhammad Ali being, excited that he won, but he was really upset because he felt like he threw the fight. And I think that's just something like his competitive nature. I think it's just an iconic picture. And Muhammad Ali probably, he's my number one athlete all the time, regardless of sport or anything. I think that's my favorite one because it was my first one. And then, he means so much to me as an athlete.
Garrison, I've always wanted a tattoo, but I'm hesitant because, they hurt, or I always hear they hurt so much.
They hurt. If you lasted this long without getting a tattoo, don't do it.
Might as well stay away from it. So out of all your tattoos, which one would you say hurt the most?
I had one on the back of my leg, on my right calf. It says "Speak No Evil." I think that's the one that hurt the most. I think it took so much time. And I think it's a weak spot back there, but it's done now. So,
how many tattoos do you think you currently have right now?
8 or 9, but my tattoos are a lot bigger than everyone else's. They take up a lot of space. Like my entire stomach, I got one on my chest, I have something going across my back. Of course, I have Muhammad Ali going down my spine. That's huge pieces. I have an astronaut on the inside of my leg with the flying saucer above it. And I have a matching tattoo of my brother on the side of my leg. So, all the tattoos are pretty big. So I would assume 8 or 9.
So you've mentioned Muhammad Ali, and I noticed on your Instagram you posted a video of him. You obviously have him tattooed on your back, so he means something to you. Tell us a little bit about how he has influenced you and why he means so much to you.
Yeah, the weird part is the first time I was introduced to him, I was a little kid. And of course, Fight Night 2004 came out. When me and my brother were playing. But then so we ended up picking who was the best. It was I want to say it was him, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson on there. I think Muhammad Ali was a cover. So anytime I picked him, I knew I was gonna win. So like ever since then, I was a little kid. I knew he was pretty much the greatest. And just digging up, like doing research as I kept growing up, I was like, man, like this guy like the greatest. And not only what he meant in the boxing ring, he was obviously the greatest in the boxing ring. Just what he did outside of that, taking stances for what he believed in. He switched. I mean, of course, like he switched religions. That was something huge. Like taking a big leap like that. It's not something I would do, but I commend him for doing something like that.
Gotcha. So let's flash back to the high school days. You were originally committed to Mississippi State. A lot of fans don't know that before you went to Carolina. So tell us about, going into that commitment, you deciding to back off of that, open up your options, and just tell us about if you remember where your head was at during that process.
Truth be told, I don't really remember. I mean, I was 17. Tough decision because I mean it's tough to kind of like go away from something that you said you were going to do for 5-6 months. So I was excited about going there. I mean, it just didn't work out how I did at the time. But fortunately enough, I ended up back here anyway. But I had a great time in Carolina my 4 years. I never regret anything about that. So just being able to do both things. I mean, it's very rare you will be able to do something like this in life. So I mean, I took advantage of it. I mean, I'm grateful for it now.
100%. And I know your dad was on, the coaching staff at Mississippi State, so that probably made the decision even more difficult. But when you opened that back up and school started reaching back out, obviously you landed at North Carolina. So why did you pick the Tar Heels?
I mean, obviously, they were fresh out from the national championship. Biggest thing was they had graduated Isaiah Kennedy, so that was huge. And they had already had Huff and Sterling, two really good players. But they were only going to return Luke that year. So I'm talking to Coach. I got my release. I'm talking to Coach Davis. Coach Davis telling me I know Tony Bradley's like it's guaranteed. So I'm thinking like that's another big league. It's 3 bigs. So I mean, why not be the third big to commit and then make it work yourself? I mean, I figured it was all going to work out once I got to Carolina. I mean, I was going to show how hard I was going to work and really try to pick up on things really fast. It was going to work out well for me.
And Garrison, was there any part of your freshman year, whether it be the summer or even when school started, where you thought, maybe I didn't make the right decision?
No. I mean, I just think to myself, this Andre 3000 lyric, man. It says spaceships don't come equipped with rearview mirrors. You don't think about that kind of stuff. So once I went there, I was all in at Carolina. Gave everything I had. So I was ecstatic about being there, of course. I mean, it was fun, man. So I was just more worried about getting better at the time, and I was happy there.
So Garrison, it definitely seems like you made the right choice choosing Carolina. From your freshman year, you started in 105 out of 113 games. You averaged 10 points and 6 rebounds for your career, scored over 1,300 points and over 800 rebounds. And as a sophomore, you helped your team win an ACC championship. And in your junior year, you were ACC's most improved player. And let's not forget that you had a winning record against the arch rival Duke in all 4 years. I know both of you two are happy about that.
Yes, sir.
So your junior year, it had to be the best of your career, right? Multiple 30-point games. What was that year like, and how did it feel to have that type of role for your team?
Yeah, I feel like our team depended on me a lot. I feel like they looked at me sometimes for answers and energy during the game. Just if they saw me down, I figured everybody else would go down too. So I mean, I think it was just a huge role for me just to see how hard I could work. Like even if things weren't going right during the season. I mean, we lost games, 7 to 8 games by one or 2 points on the buzzer. So I mean, like I try to come in and work every day, work as hard as I could for the guys to try to turn it around. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing I taught myself. I learned about myself, how resilient I could be, how persistent I could be in my work, how hard I could be, like how like infectious my energy is throughout the team.
Yeah, I mean, there was something about that team I loved. You know, we didn't win many games, but it felt like we had a game plan, and it was get Garrison the ball and get out the way. But Garrison, how did you maintain that mentality night in and night out, just to know that you're the guy getting double teamed and still maintaining that high level of play?
Yeah, because I feel like at the time, I feel like our team needed that. Our team needed somebody that they could go to every possession, night in, night out. And I feel like I could do that, and I gave it all I could. But I just kind of I was prepared for the moment. I worked hard as I could. I was ready for everything that came with it.
All in all, how would you grade your senior year? An A, B, C.
I mean, of course, I feel like my level of play didn't match the expectations I had in preseason. So I would say a C. I mean, I feel like I didn't play as well as I needed to play to kind of help my team, but I also feel like it was a very tough situation, very different situation. We had, I want to say, that's 6 new guys trying to learn about college basketball, and you got a shorter season, and you have COVID, you have everything going along in the world. But you also have that time where you're supposed to be playing different teams, secret, like your private scrimmage, your exhibition games, like your preseason, like your like beginning games where you play in-state teams like UNCW, Elon, like games that really get you warmed up before you just jump head first into like a CBS Classic or a tournament like Maui. But I feel like we were deprived of that. So, I mean, I feel like we were always kind of just trying to play catch-up mode because we had so many new guys.
And Garrison, after such a great Carolina career, a lot of people wanted you to come back and relive one more year with the Tar Heels. What went into the transfer to Mississippi State?
I feel like with Coach Williams leaving, I feel like I felt like it wouldn't have been a better time to leave. I mean, I think it's great. Carolina's a great place. Chapel Hill will always be home to me. But I think it was just a right time, right moment type deal. I mean, I felt good about leaving once I figured out everything was going to happen once the season ended. I mean, I just thought about it, prayed about it. I mean, that's what led me to transfer. But I mean, it's a tough decision to leave like what you're used to and what you're comfortable with.
So I was looking at some of the guys that are coming in with you at State, and y'all are pretty loaded. Rocket Watts from Michigan State, DJ Jeffries from Memphis, Shaquille Moore from NC State. What are your expectations for this season with all that firepower and talent?
Yeah, I think our goal here at State is to win the SEC regular season and go to the Final Four. I think that's the highest expectation we can have. I think that once you set the bar so high, like you try to get to that. So I think that's what we've realized. Like I think that's where our talent, our experience, and our coaching is going to help us get to. I think we have ways to go right now, but I think that's something that's our goal.
Garrison, last year we saw, you integrate the three a little bit more into your game. This offseason, what have you been working on specifically to have a monster season?
Yeah, so fortunately enough, man, I've been working on my body a lot. I had to change my diet when I came here. I had to change how much I worked out on a daily basis. Also had to just pretty much work out a lot more. I feel like I have to be a lot better. On the defensive end, offensive, I have to be a lot more aggressive for my team to win. So I think that's something that I try to become more of an offensive-minded player. Also try to get better on defense, slide my feet laterally, stand in front of people. Just being a leader also, and then just personally working on catch and shoot threes. I mean, that's what NBA mostly is. I mean, most of the guys that you see out there, you're going to see one primary guy with the ball. They're going to drive, kick, threes. I mean, I try to work on that constantly now.
What can Mississippi State fans expect specifically, from you? And how would you describe your game to someone, that isn't too familiar with your style of play?
So what State fans can expect from me is a guy that's going to go out there and give you 110 every night. He's going to be a passionate leader. Guy is going to give it his all to win, and he's going to put his best foot forward this year. I think to describe my game to someone that's never watched me before is right now I've become a lot better shooter. Of course, I can score in the low post. Good defense. I mean, good on defense. Good communicating with any of my teammates. Capable. I mean, very good low post scorer. I mean, just a good rebounder too. So I think that's just something that all goes into it. I think that I got a little bounce now. I still got a little bounce in me. So I mean, I might show that a little bit. But
is there any particular games you're looking forward to this year?
Yeah. So we're supposed to go back to the Bahamas. So I'm always excited to go back there. So any game in the Bahamas, I'm excited to go to. We also we play at Kentucky, play at Alabama. Those are the games I'm really excited about. You know, just playing in state of Alabama, and I look at it like playing at Kentucky is one of the greater things in life to do as a college basketball player. That's something you dream of. You dream of playing in something like the Dean Dome, which I did for 4 years. You play at the Carrier Dome, which I've done for 4 years, and you play at Cameron Indoor. Now I get to play at Rupp, so it's perfect. I think if I had a dream, I could play at one more arena, I'd play at Kansas. But other than that, I think that's just something you always look forward to playing on the road. I mean, road victories are always the best. I know KJ can attest to that.
100%.
Any pregame ritual or specific music or artists that you listen to before each game?
Yeah, so I listen to a lot of Young Jeezy, like the older Young Jeezy. So like stuff that came out when I was a kid. So Dub Motivation 101, that type stuff. I like Nipsey Hussle now. I'm not gonna lie, it calmed me down a little bit. Something that you need for the game. I always been the type like when I come out and I know a song, like, I have to sing the song. Like regardless of what I'm doing, like I'm gonna still be able to warm up, stretch, all that, but I have to sing the song. I feel like that just helps me kind of get the judges out.
What are your initial impressions of head coach Ben Holland?
Coach Holland is very, very attentive. He has a lot of attention to detail. Like if it's just a certain way your feet point when you shoot, how you catch the ball when you about to catch a shoot, how's your hand placement on the ball, how you sweep the ball to get by somebody, how you jump stop in the lane. He's very attentive. He has a lot of attention to detail. He wants everything perfect. He expects you to come in and work every day, which I don't mind. I think that's something that I need is somebody that helps me kind of polish everything that I have in my game. So, I mean, I think that's perfect. I think that he's a head coach I need right now.
So the last 4 years, we've been listening to Roy yell and scream on the sideline. So how does, that coaching style compare to what Ben's doing?
It's a lot different. So, Coach Williams emphasized running, getting up and down. Like we don't emphasize running as much as Coach Williams. I don't think that's physically possible. I think if Coach Holland tried to rebound and run as much as Coach Williams, he still couldn't do it. So I think that's just it's a bigger difference. I think just like the pace we played at Carolina is a lot different. But I think that they're both really good. They're great head coaches. Head coaches know what they're talking about, so it's good.
Staying on the topic of Mississippi State, do you have a favorite spot to eat on campus yet?
Not on campus, but I got a favorite spot to start with. It's called Lil Dewey's. So basically, it's just like a little, kind of like a mom and pop spot, kind of like Sutton's, KJ. But they don't serve breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a lunch, dinner kind of spot. So it's
like
amazing.
Chicken tenders, fries.
Chicken tenders, fries, like barbecue.
Got you.
And it's amazing.
What's your day-to-day like right now, preparing for the season?
Yeah, so pretty much I'll break it down to you for like today. Today we had conditioning at 8 a.m. So me being a grad student, I have class online. So fortunately enough, I can come home, take a nap. But I had one class in person today, 12:45. So I go to that. Practice at 2:30. I'm ready I get out of class, I'm ready by 2. So I go up and shoot before practice starts, stretch out a little bit with my strength and conditioning coach. Practice 2:30, hour, cool. And I came home today to do the podcast. So probably later on tonight, like 8:15, 8:30, I'll go work out again. I don't have a problem doing that. I think that's also something I've gotten used to doing, like going back and just doing a lot more extra. And I think that's pretty much my day-to-day. I mean, I'll wake up if I don't have practice, like I'll just take a nap right after we condition and lift, and then I'll go home, take a nap, wake back up, go get something to eat, and go back and work out.
We'll need a graphic of that day-to-day. That's a crazy schedule.
Yeah.
So switching gears a bit, we've seen the new legislation that NCAA has passed that allows college athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness. What are some of the things you've been doing to start taking advantage of that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing anything right now at the moment, but I got some stuff in the works, like my logo and pretty much my brand, creating a website, all that stuff. I mean, I think it's tough. I also think it can be a watered down market right now because everybody's doing it. I think you just have to wait to the perfect time. And I don't think right now is not my perfect time to do it because I'm in a football state. So I kind of got to wait till football kind of does their thing and basketball is right here. So I'm kind of trying to find the perfect time to kind of let everything go.
What are your plans, with your logo? Do you want to do merch? What's your thought process with it?
I kind of want to do shirts, hoodies for the fall. I think that'll just kind of be my starting point. That'll be how I start, and everything else I pretty much fill out by myself. I mean, not by myself, but I fill out myself.
So is Mississippi State letting you guys, have free reign, do what you want to do when it comes to NIL deals? Are they asking you that you got to run it by compliance or fill something out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to run everything by compliance. I don't think you can go out by yourself and do it like that. But I run everything by compliance and see what they think and have it smoothed over with them. But I think that's how every school does it.
So speaking of the transfer rule, players no longer have to sit out a year. What would you say are the upsides and downsides to that?
Yeah, so I think the good thing is for players that need a fresh start. I mean, not everybody, it doesn't work out coming out of high school every time. I mean, and that's okay. I think the best part is you get guys that need a fresh start, need something new, need new scenery, need some new faces, new coaching, new play style. And that's perfect. I think those are the guys that deserve to play immediately. But I think the weird part is you have guys that kind of just transfer for no reason, kind of because they didn't work and it didn't work out for them, so they kind of just up and leave. I mean, I don't see a problem with it, but I think that's kind of the downside of it, and that's how you get over 1,500 names in the transfer portal. So I think it's kind of crazy because, I mean, it's the type deal where if it doesn't work, you'll be able to leave. You don't have to worry about it. You'll be able to find another school because I think schools will be looking more in the transfer portal because, I mean, I think that's tough. I think that some colleges want kids with more experience where they don't have to kind of teach the game as much to high school kids. I mean, I think that hurts high school kids also.
All right, G, to close us out, we do this thing called rapid fire questions about your teammates to see how well you know them. So the answer can be yourself too. So we're gonna start it off. Who is the bounciest on the team?
So this going which team? This is
your team, your current team, Mississippi State.
Shaquille Moore.
Who's the best shooter?
Obviously, Omar.
Who's the best passer?
DJ Jefferson.
Who's the most intelligent?
Garrison Brooks.
Who's the one that's always late?
Shaquille Moore.
Who's the ladies' man?
Garrison Brooks.
Oh, I was about to say. Good thing nothing changed. The funniest.
Oh, man. The funniest, Derek Fountain.
Who has the most drip?
JD Davis.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Garrison. We appreciate your time. Wish you good luck this season. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode with Garrison Brooks, please leave us a like, a review, and please subscribe. Thanks again, Garrison. We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate y'all.